I'm afraid I have a confession to make. I'm actually here undercover. March, now. I came to Quilt Club to gain the knowledge and insight to help build the best collection of quilting machines Brother has made. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you I was undercover. Can you find it in your hearts to forgive me? Let's quilt.
Hello, Brother Sewing and Crafting family. I'm Angela Wolf, Brother Brand Ambassador, and today's the day. You marked your calendar, 12 o'clock today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, Eastern Standard Time. And guess what? We're going to show you all of the brand new products that were just launched last week at B2B right here from your living room. You can watch. And guess what? I've got 3 fabulous educators today. We have different ones each day showing you the best features of each product. Now, we could spend hours on this, so it's really hard to condense this to 1 hour, but this is how it's going to work. If you've never been here before, say hi, say where you're from. We are live on Brother Sewing and Crafting. Facebook and YouTube page. I can see all of your comments. So each one is going to start with a little demo. We're going to break for questions and ask away. But before I tell you that, or before we get started, I should say, one little thing that started, let's see, what's today, the 10th? I believe it started the 9th, which would be yesterday. All the products that you see, there will be 0% financing. Of course, we've come to expect that at some point, right? And I believe, let me make sure I got this right. 60 months, 0% financing. If you buy anything that's over $5,000, that's a great deal. That's a long time that you can pay that over too. And the second one is 0% financing for 72 months if you spend over $10,000. Make sure I got that right. I don't have my glasses on. I got that right. And that's at your local Brother dealer. So that's your little secret. If you see something that you like and you're like, oh, I don't know. Well, the deal started and it ends August 30th. So it started yesterday and goes to the 30th. But enough about that. Let's meet our fabulous educators. I want to introduce them all and then we'll get started. So we've got Brenda, Coleen, and Jennifer. Welcome, everyone.
Good morning. Well, morning for me.
Good morning. Well,
Good
Hello. And you, Coleen. Yes.
So you all got to start with all these products. You've had to keep your mouth quiet during our live shows because everything new is coming out. And you have the entire Brother family joining in. They're saying hi, where they're from. They can hardly wait. Last week, they really wanted to join a B2B. And I said, you can't. You have to wait until this week. So everyone, welcome. Say hi. And there are so many good products. Why don't we start with, let's see. Coleen, you want to start?
I do. All
right. Because this machine, we saw the video last week and we're all still dancing to the awesome music because Brother had the best ads ever for these. I love the Quilt Club one, but I love the music for your machine. So why don't you take it away and show us this beautiful 6 needle?
I'm going to just have to tell you, I was blown away by this. I've been a 10 needle girl for as long as the 10 needle's been in the marketplace, but this 6 needle has some amazing features and I can see it just running to your house right now. So let's get started with some of the new fun stuff. I'm going to take you on a real quick tour of this. The machine is, of course, 6 needles. It uses all the same Brother standard hoops that you've been using. So the 1.5 by 2.5, 4 by 4, 5 by 7, and 8 by 12 are included. And I'm going to run right to the screen because I want you to see some of the new designs and some of the new features. So I'm going to start with one that's really exciting. If you like to embroider and you want your time to go really, really fast, one of the things that you can do is you can simply choose a design. And right now I'm just looking at my page of designs. I haven't even actually chosen a design yet. And I'm going to touch this guy. And right down here, there's this new little icon and it says embroidery and it just has a little tiny arrow by it. And again, I haven't chosen a design yet. It's just one that I think I might use. Touch. And it goes all the way through to the end and it's ready to embroider. So no messing around, no setting up. These always come in at dead center, horizontal and vertically perfect. So that's pretty amazing. What do you think? Is that cool? Okay, now
I love that.
I know, efficient. It's like, oh my goodness. And then there's another one I'm going to show you just because some of you are working in a home environment and you have little helpers around you. And this is a really cool tool for people who have little helpers in the room. So number one, you have an admin lock so that they can't change anything in the screen settings. That's useful. Number two, you have an operator lock. And when the operator lock is on, they can't touch the machine and make it do anything at all without entering a code. So that's super, super cool. So if you're in a store or in your kitchen and the kiddo needs help right now, if you just touch the little lock icon at the top of the screen, it will shut the machine down, not close it, but just stop it from anybody doing anything to it. It's a really, really amazing safety feature. And then the last one is called key optimization. And what it can do, I'm going to just cheat and turn it on real quickly here. You saw that I had so many cool icons, and now I don't. They're all grayed out. So if you're trying to let someone, maybe a neighbor, help you or use the machine, and you don't want them to get lost with all the icons, you can turn off a bunch of the icons so that they can just use the ones that pertain to the job they're doing. So they've added some really, really significantly cool features. And I'm going to turn those off because I want to go to the shebang feature. And that's hard. So there's so many. It was really, really hard for me to limit what I was going to talk about. But I am going to talk about many, many features from the 10 needler on here, many, many features, of course, everything from before. And I want to show you one little new hoop before we get started. Where did I put that little devil? Oh, he's way over there. Okay, I'm going to grab him. This is, sorry about that. This is a brand new flash magnetic frame. And the reason I'm not using him is because I wanted you to see him. But this is really cool because he's got magnets and he just snaps into place, and it's so perfect. And when you pair it with the crosshair centering on this machine, you will never make a mistake again. So how do you feel about that answer? So I'm going to go to my screen. I'm going to come down here. Whoop, wrong guy. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to choose, there's the page I want, Mr. Dinosaur. I'm going to set him into place, and then I'm going to take you to my machine bed. So right down here on the machine bed, you can maybe see I've done a really pathetic job of hooping. I'm really quite a bit off. Now my design is not going to look good if I let it go like that, is it? So I'm going to come back to the screen and I'm going to touch a new icon that's right here. And it has a little crosshair in it. And when I touch the crosshair, it pops up on the hoop. Ha, now is that cool? So on the screen, I have 9 match points that I can use for alignment. So if I wanted to align the side of the design to a shirt, I would come over here. If I wanted to align it above a pocket, which is what I'm doing today, I would come down here to the bottom. And that's all I have to do. That's all I have to tell it right now. I'm going to touch next. And it asks me another question, and that is, do you want to align it from the bottom horizontally or vertically? Well, I want horizontal, so I'll touch next. Now, here's the key. I can just move this. Let's see. Do you want to see the laser move? That's more fun. I'm going to just move my laser at high speed. Boom, right over there and right down into position. So I've got that in pretty good position. We're going to go back to the screen. When I touch next, it gives me that horizontal line I asked for. Remember that second setting? And so I'm going to take you back, and I'm going to just move it right down. And whoops, I went one too fast. I switched the camera and not that. So let's just turn that back on again. There we go. And that one would let me move it over. Let's do that next one again. And I would just move it down. There we go. Now, when I touch set, I want you to look at my dinosaur on the screen. That's how badly I hooped. So I am 14 degrees rotated because that's how pathetic I was when I hooped this shirt. But it doesn't matter because the angle exactly matches my shirt, and I'm going to have a perfectly placed design. So that means no more mistakes ever. Everything you do will be perfect. Do you like that? I mean, to me, that's exciting. So I found this little shirt, and it has this nice piping, which I thought was so cute. And then I realized that if the design above it isn't perfect above the piping, you have a hot mess. So, I mean, I'm sorry, it's not really good. You could put a patch over it or something. Ask me how I know to do that. But anyway, I wanted you to see how perfect that was. And then I have another one here because this is what grown-ups do. And a lot of people will do this as a business. They'll do a logo over a pocket, or even just for family trips, they'll have matching shirts. And here it is. And again, it's absolutely, totally, completely perfect. So that's because of it, not because of me. So how am I doing for time? Can I show them a hat or not?
Absolutely. And I have to tell you, that dinosaur, I was cracking up because my nephews would love that. And when you said hot mess, that's their favorite word. So keep rolling. I'd love to see the hat.
That would be a hot mess if it wasn't straight.
Yes, it would. Yes, we do have a couple more minutes, so keep rolling.
Okay, so let me see if I can, here we go. So the cap, I use the new cap hoop, the frame 3, and it's just so exciting because you have all these different designs that you can put in here. This is the snap back or flat brim. So there is a bunch of designs right on the machine that you can just pull in here that are great. And then I added some lettering to this one. This one is my favorite because these are flat brim. And the flat brim is really, really important to the kids set right now. Ask me how I know that, because my grandchildren are buying really, really expensive hats. And I look at this and I think, if you had any idea how much they paid for that hat blank and how much you paid for it, there's a kind of a really big discrepancy there. So those are some of the fun things about this machine. Let me see what I might have missed because I was trying to hurry and make sure that I got everything in. Oh, wireless LAN. So this has wireless LAN. And this morning I was looking at it, and right down here on my screen, let's take you, I think you can see where I'm pointing. Right down here on the screen, there's a little exclamation point beside my wireless LAN, and it's telling me that my machine is ready for a new update. And then all I would have to do is let it go ahead and update. Now, I didn't think it was really prudent to update right before a live broadcast, so I haven't let mine update yet. But
Coleen, I'm laughing. That's a very wise decision. Because it would probably take like 15 minutes and you'd be late for the show.
Well, I was just thinking, goodness, my first time to do this with wireless, maybe it's not a good time to do it right before the show begins. Just saying. So it uses all the new most all of the new frames that were launched last year, included the great big magnetic one. If you have that, if you have a 10 needle, that will work on this. It just stitches in the 8x12 size. That's all. But this is just a super machine. Are there any questions about this guy? I'm going to have to tell you, I have fallen hard and fast in love with its efficiency, with its speed. Everything about it is just truly amazing.
This is a great machine, Coleen, and there are a few questions rolling in. So I know that some people were a little intimidated by the 10 needle that came out last year. So this one has 6 needles, and so you can still embroider a project. You don't have to keep changing the needle like we do with some of our other machines. It's so fast, but the new features, that laser light is awesome, by the way.
The laser is totally amazing, but the machine itself, to me, it just looks really friendly and inviting. And if you think about it, when I'll show you one more thing that's pretty exciting. To me, it's just an amazing machine, the way it works and functions and saves you time. And if you don't have a free arm machine at your house, you are being cheated, because you totally are, because can you do sleeves and pant legs and all the fun things that you can do once you have a free arm? No, you can't. So you're missing out. So every luminaire needs a companion. I'm just saying.
I love my luminaire. It's behind me. That thing's never moving. But I use it so much for sewing, and then you have to break for embroidery. I don't know. Yes. I could embroider all day long on both, and that would be really fast, though, and that would be nice. So just real quick, Coleen, Marcia wants to know, so you were showing the magnetic frame. She asked if that was a magnetic hat frame, or what magnetic frame were you showing?
It's a magnetic frame for garments, and the idea is you just put what I didn't really talk about when I held that up so quickly is that it has this gigantic storage compartment behind it right here. So what you can do is you can take the top of your bag, the top of your shirt, whatever, and it goes right into this little storage area, so you don't have to worry about straps. I did a huge, almost a 3-foot heavy canvas tote bag and put all of the extra stuff and the straps and the ties and all that was in here, so you don't have to worry about it getting caught on anything. So this guy's fast, and you don't take him off. You just snap the magnets off, let the thing come off, put the new thing on, and snap your magnets back on. So it is a great hoop, and the updates for it will be coming soon. For the other machines, it will fit all of the 10 needles eventually, and it will fit all from the PR 655 up. So those are all in the works. You can expect them by the first of the year because they'll stagger them as they come out.
Oh, that's awesome. I knew that would be one of the next questions, including for myself, because I have the 6 needle, the prior one, and I'm thinking, can I get that magnetic hoop to work on there?
Yes, you can.
Although it doesn't have the laser light, and that laser light, I might just have to upgrade because that laser light, I saw Lucy here saying the laser light, that is the so cool, so cool.
So for me, I'm not very good at hooping straight. I mean, clearly this one was 14 degrees off, but I'm not usually that far off. But you know, even a portion of a degree makes a difference. I mean, even if you have like a tenth of, you know, 0.1 or 0.2, the human eye picks that up, particularly on anything that's got a grain or a plaid or a stripe or anything. And so this just makes it, I mean, you just never have to worry about that. You're always going to be dead on the money.
Yes, this is awesome.
Think how much money you could save if you had this.
There you go. And time. So there's so much more than this machine can do. But like I said, we're going to try to get through a few of the machines today. So if you want to see more about this machine, call your brother dealer and you can go see the machine. I'm not sure if it's in the stores yet, but it will be soon. And there's also going to be on our future live shows, you'll see more of this. But if you have more questions, go ahead and leave them. At the end of the show, all the girls will come back up and we'll answer more questions. So Coleen, that was awesome. And that laser light is definitely, I'm reading all the comments. Wow, that's a wowzer.
It's only wow. I mean, it looks wow, but when you use it, it's like 3 times wow or 10 times wow.
It's the wow factor.
Oh, it's amazing.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Coleen, and we'll see you here shortly.
Okay.
All right. So I think you would agree it's amazing. You think, what else could possibly brother come up with? I mean, after the Luminera, I thought, what could be possible? Then you had the 10 needle last year. Now we have the 6 needle, but there's more. Now we have Jennifer showing us more about the ScanNCut. And I know many of you have a ScanNCut, or many of you have talked about it. You see us on the show. We're cutting fabric. We're cutting vinyl. We're cutting leather. We're cutting all kinds of things. Well, there's more to that as well this year. So let's bring up Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, how are you?
Excellent. So welcome to the brother product launch party. And I can hardly wait to see what you're going to be showing us.
Well, today I have the new ScanNCut DX 325. You can see it there behind me on my table. The new ScanNCut is even better. Like you said, what more could brother give us, right?
I know.
But the new ScanNCut has so much more. We're still working with the auto blade. Your ScanNCut 325 comes with the auto blade and the standard mat, but you also get the fabric auto blade and the fabric mat. There's over 1,300 built-in designs. So I thought I'd take you over to the machine and just show you a little bit. And I have an exciting new feature to wow you with.
Okay,
we can hardly had a wow. I have a wow.
We can hardly wait. All right, so take us over to your machine. I'll bring her back up as soon as I see she's ready. And don't forget, you can ask questions, comments, and don't forget, 0% financing started yesterday and goes till the end of the month. And there's different months and different amounts, which I'll cover more later. But let's bring this up because these new features are so exciting. All right, so I see your ScanNCut.
All right, it went to sleep on me here, waiting. All right, so I'm at the new 325, and I just wanted to go through really quick. Like I said, there's over 1,300 built-in patterns, but my favorite patterns are the quilt blocks. There are 140 built-in quilt blocks, and I know I've mentioned this, but it truly is my favorite part. It looks like there's only 7 quilt blocks here, but when you go into each subcategory, there are many to choose from, and you can tell the ScanNCut what size block you need for your project. So that's really cool. And on top of that, the ScanNCut will automatically add in your seam allowances. So there's no math required for us quilters. The ScanNCut takes care of that for us. So I'm going to go back home, And over here, these are a couple of the newest features. So my collection, we all have Canvas Workspace. If you have your ScanNCut, we have Canvas Workspace. And there are additional cards that you can buy that have design collections. My collection will now allow you to take those design collections that you've activated in Canvas Workspace, and you can batch them onto a USB and bring them all over to your ScanNCut. So you don't have to do it one at a time anymore. And then this is the newest feature that I want to talk about. This is my connection. My connection now allows us to transfer design files to and from our ScanNCut DX to the Luminaire. How cool is that?
I love that.
I wanted to treat you with a little demonstration both ways to show you how that works. So I'm going to go into my connection, and I'm going to send a pattern from my ScanNCut over to my Luminaire. So I'm going to go to send, and I'm going to choose a built-in pattern. And I'm going to go ahead and just choose any one of these little designs in here. Since Coleen did a dinosaur, let's take Mr. Dinosaur here, Mr. T-Rex. I'll touch OK, and I'll touch OK. Now, I'm not going to change the size. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to hit set. And before I do the magic transfer, I do want to point out that the ScanNCut recognizes, here you see a gray area of your mat, and if you scroll down, there's a gray area. The ScanNCut knows that our Luminaire has a 10 5/8 by 16 mat, or hoop. So it's giving us all that space to work with. So I could add multiple built-in designs here on my mat and transfer them all at once. So I have my little dinosaur. I'm going to touch transfer. And it's saying, can we update the data out in the cloud? And I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say OK. And it is transferred. So I'm going to switch my camera really quick.
That's all you had to do. By the way, I heard a truck by. It sounded like the dinosaur was roaring. I didn't know if that was like a sound effect you had in there or what.
So I'm going to change my camera.
All right. So while she's changing, I can see her questions coming in, though, about the older versions and some other things. And don't worry, she's going to answer those as soon as she comes back up here. Did you hear the roar? I heard it. There goes the dinosaur. All right. She's switching. Here we go. That simple.
I'm going to turn that overhead light off so that hopefully I can reduce that glare.
So she just went, in case you missed that, from the ScanNCut, touched one button, and now she's back to her Luminaire.
So now I'm going to go to my Luminaire. Can you see it okay?
We can see it great.
Okay, so I'm going to go to my design center. That is where the ScanNCut sends your designs. You're going to go to your stamps and look up here. If you can see that, I'm hoping that maybe I need to, up there on the top, you've got all your shapes. We now have a little ScanNCut button in our shape.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that cool? So all I have to do is hit the little ScanNCut button. And look, there is my dinosaur. I'm going to choose my dinosaur. You can see I've been playing with this feature. I'm going to touch OK. And my dinosaur has now been brought into my design center for me.
Wow.
Now I can go ahead and play just as I would with my design center. I can go in and I can, maybe I want to make him green. And I can fill him in green. Maybe I want to make an outline. I'll do a triple stitch with a dark green for his outline. Go to next. I've now turned my ScanNCut built-in into stitches. I can hit set, And I'm now ready to embroider my dinosaur.
Unbelievable. So
How cool is that?
she just did this live, in case you missed that. And this all happened within just a few minutes, not having to grab a USB stick. That is amazing. And now you have it for embroidery.
Few seconds. But wait, there's more. I can go the other way too. So I'm going to go back home. I'm not going to save the dinosaur. I'm going to go into embroidery. And I'm going to choose one that I had stitched out, actually, so that you can see. I'm going to choose this flower here. And I'm going to hit set. So there's my design. And I'm going to try to zoom out a little bit. So, sorry, I'm not a videographer.
That's one of my favorite designs too. You must, not that you're biased, but I love that design. I actually use that into many pieces in a gown and on some sleeves. I love this design, so I can't wait to see what you do.
So I'm going to go into edit now. And we've always had the applique key where we could turn an embroidery into a patch. But when I go into applique key now, I have two options. I can turn it into a patch like normal, or I can turn it into some of the stitches into applique. So if I touch this, now you can see my design is kind of grayed out, but I've got all of my stitch colors here. If I touch a couple of these pinks, it brings up those stitches. And if I hit next and I hit preview, look what it's done. It's turned those stitches into an applique for me.
Wow.
So I'm going to hit next. Now, when I look at my design, if you notice that those pink is now the applique patch, but I can go back in here and maybe I want to touch that dark pink. Down here, we can turn the stitches on and off. So it's now on no sew. I can turn that back on, and then when I do my patch, I can stitch over it. Maybe I don't want some of the green leaves. I can turn those off and see what the embroidery would look like without those sewn. So that's all built into my connection. Now, I'm going to go ahead and turn those back on. And I'm going to turn that back off so you can see the patch. I'm going to touch OK. Now, before I go into embroidery to stitch this, I want to cut my applique patch, right? I want to have my fabric ready, so I'm ready to stitch. So I'm going to go to memory. Now look at the bottom of the screen. There's a new little button that looks like your ScanNCut.
Wow.
So all I have to do is touch the little ScanNCut button. Again, my ScanNCut or my Luminaire is asking me, do you want to replace what's in the cloud? And I'm going to say yes. Go ahead and transfer. And that's it.
Unbelievable.
Now I'm going to, forgive me, I have to change my camera once more.
That's okay. This is so exciting. And so I'll take you out while you're switching cameras. And I see all of your questions rolling in. And don't forget, we will get to that as soon as she's finished here. But is that amazing or what? I love the new ScanNCut button because you can't even get that one wrong. I mean, it's like you know exactly what you're pressing. And here is your ScanNCut.
It looks like your ScanNCut. Okay. So I'm back over here at my ScanNCut. It's as easy as going into the same menu, your My Connection. But this time, what do we want to do? We want to retrieve our design. So we're going to touch Retrieve. We're going to choose our wireless LAN device, which is our Luminaire. There is our embroidery design. We have our applique key. There is the embroidery patch that we made. Can you see that? I don't know how good my camera is.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. set. And there's the patch that we made. Now I can use the background scan feature, which is one of the things we absolutely love about our ScanNCut. We can place our fabric anywhere on our mat, scan it, and move our applique piece into position and cut it. So now our Luminaire and our ScanNCut DX machine talk to each other without having to use the USB.
Unbelievable. That is amazing.
And I actually have that design stitched out, Angela.
Oh, I got to see this.
Let me switch my camera.
While she's switching, I just put a note below. Some of you said that you've never been to a brother dealer. I saw that in the comments. Some of you have a local brother dealer. If you go to brothersews.com, I put it right below here, and you can punch in your address or your zip code, I should say, and it will tell you where your closest dealer is. It's very easy to find. Some people are asking pricing. We don't have that here, but you can call your brother dealer and get that. And don't forget the 0% financing that started yesterday, which goes all the way till the end of the month. All right, Jennifer.
All right.
Here you are.
So
I got to see
here's
this
my little garden flag I made.
Oh my gosh, is that adorable?
So the pink, the light pink, is my applique, and I stitched the dark pink over the top. Now I went back in and turned those stitches on. And I'm going to do a little teaser. Make sure you tune in on Thursday, because Cindy will be here talking about the new rotary blade for the ScanNCut. And I used the rotary blade to actually cut craft felt. So that's what I made my applique out of.
So, hey, Jennifer, hold that up again. I just want to see something. Because that design, when I embroidered it, I like this even better. And I didn't think that design could get any better. So the leaves, are the leaves embroidered or fabric?
The leaves are embroidered.
And then the pink that you're pointing
The
out.
light pink is my felt.
It gives it such a different dimension for embroidery. I mean, that
Right.
completely changed that design into something that now I would want to put on my jeans or a jean jacket, because it has that trendy kind of, I don't know, there's a word for it, but I love that. I love that look. It completely changed it.
Yeah, it gives it, like you said, a little more dimension.
Wow. Absolutely gorgeous. Well, the questions are rolling in for you. So
I knew they would be.
everybody's saying I'm beautiful also. All right, so let me get started at the top. Does this transfer from your ScanNCut to the 6 needle?
Only transfers to the Luminaire.
Okay, so if you have the 6 needle, then you still have to use the USB, but it's not the end of the world.
You have to use the USB.
Yeah, but I know a lot of you on here had purchased the Luminaire, so this is going to be great.
Yes.
Let's see here. Lucy wants to know, is my connection to be an update for the previous ScanNCut or not?
My connection is only available on the 2 new ScanNCuts, the SDX 325, which I just showed, and the SDX 330D.
All right. Sounds good. Lucy, good question, though. And also, you did give a little teaser about that rotary blade. Wait till you see on Thursday what this has to offer. And this can also, I believe, can be used on some of the older models as well. So if you have the older model ScanNCut, don't worry. Brother didn't leave you out in the dark.
Nope.
All right. Naomi says, will the old 225 mat work on the new machine?
Yes, the DX mats will work on the new machine.
Excellent. Everybody's saying unbelievable. Oh, Lucy,
I know, it's amazing.
The Luminaire. She said, is this an update on the Luminaire or will it automatically show up?
There is an update for the Luminaire and an update for the new ScanNCut. With the SDX 325 and 330D, you get a little activation card for the My Connection. And
wonderful.
Yeah. So it comes with the activation with your ScanNCut.
So Paula, she wants to know if it works with the Dream Machine too. I'm going to have to say no.
Only the Luminaire.
But you can still,
and
if you have
it
an
will work with the Luminaire 1 or the Luminaire 2, XP1 or XP2.
All right, I think I got a few of these. There's a few more coming in. Yes, Bonnie, it's only on the Luminaire. And Vera, can we upgrade our other DX machines for the ScanNCut?
The My Connection only comes on the 2 new ScanNCut, so there's not an upgrade for it.
Okay, so, and I see some of you rolling in that came in later. Don't worry that when the show's over, you can, if you're on Facebook, share it to your Facebook page. On YouTube, you can go back and watch anytime. Be sure to subscribe to the Brother channel so you don't miss any shows this week. But you can go back and watch from the beginning. So I won't start repeating questions anymore. I'll just keep moving on. Patricia wants to know, can you put your own designs in to make an applique?
Yes, so it's not on your luminaire. You can, it's not just the built-in designs. You can bring in your own embroidery designs and change the stitches to applique. The only ones that you're not going to be able to change is the Disney. You can't do this with any of the Disney designs.
Excellent. Oh, there you go, Kathy. She said she can't wait to get her new one. All right, Shirley, what do you have for us? I've been doing this manually for so long using a USB. This makes it so much easier. Yes,
so much faster. It's just like that. You saw it was 2 clicks and it was done.
Absolutely. Oh, I see a lot. Everybody's rolling in towards the afternoon. Welcome, welcome. I know some of you are on your lunch break, so thank you. I agree, Arnell. All right, so let me see if there's anything else. So can the new fabric mat and blade be used on the SDX 230 DX?
Yes. And it's the fabric mat and blade come with this one, and you get the fabric mat and blade with the 230 as well. She should have.
Yeah. And Lucy has one more question, but this is kind of a teaser into Thursday because Cindy's going to be showing this. She wants to know about that rotary blade. Could that feature be used to change the yellow dots into gems? Itsy bitsy.
You could turn those off and turn them into gems if you want.
Awesome.
And choose to have them not stitch.
That sounds good.
That's the great part is you can even just choose not to stitch part of the design.
Yeah, that's true. And just have little pieces to it. That took that design from the elegance that I did on the gown with the colors I used to when you add that felt, it just gives it such a different texture for home deck, for garments. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to try that.
Well, I had to try everything at once, right? So I couldn't just use my connection. I had to throw everything else in there too.
Patricia said her husband's having a heart attack with all the wows. And you're welcome. And Shireen from South Africa, welcome to the party. All right, welcome. Jennifer, I'm sure there's going to be more questions. You can keep asking them. We'll take more questions at the end of the show, but we need to bring Brenda up because she's got another cool machine as well. So see you shortly. All right, let's bring up Brenda.
Angela, no, so this is great because I've just decided this whole show, the machines we're showing today could all work perfectly in a craft room and a sewing room. We'll have one for the embroidery, very efficient one. We'll have the ScanNCut, and I have the pleasure of sharing with you the new top of the line in the Quilt Club series, and that's the brand new BQ 3100. Well, this is really near and dear to my heart because I'm just a quilter at heart anyhow. So it's got some great features. It's a wonderful, wonderful sewing and quilting machine. Let me just go over to the machine and show you a few of the features. I will just change my camera and I'll meet you there.
While you're changing cameras, while she's changing cameras, I'll take her out for a second. We can hear her. She can still hear us. She's going right there. But I have to ask Brenda, did you love the new ads for the Quilt Club? I just laughed right out loud. It just great ad.
oh my gosh. Yeah, that was great. I love the undercover. No, it was a lot of fun. They actually, Brother did some great ads this year. So, we can't beat that. Hey, so first of all, I'll just give you just a quick little tour of the machine. Tell you about a brand new accessory, which is definitely growing to be my favorite. Again, if you know me, you know I'm a quilter. So we have the spacious space here of 11 1/4 inches from your needle to the side of the machine there. And this machine comes with a special quilter's bundle, which includes this wide table as well as a 2-spool thread stand. And then the brand new compact digital dual feed. So some of you may be familiar with the current, or I should say previous Move It foot. This is replacing it. What's great about it is, well, one, if you, it's smaller So, but the other big thing is it kind of goes up in the back. And if you use the original one, you may have noticed what I noticed from time to time. It would get a little bit, it would kind of grab my fabric from behind. Well, this one has the clearance there and no longer have that issue. This is basically the best walking foot that I've ever used. It's, I guess, how is it different from a traditional walking foot? It stays in constant contact with your fabric because it is belt driven. So that comes with the machine, as well as in that quilter's bundle, you get all 5 of the sole plates to go on the Move It, which is your open toe, your stitch in the ditch, the regular, the couching, the 1/4 inch, and the regular foot for your, that all are interchangeable on your brand new compact digital dual feed. So I love that new accessory. Most of the time I would be using it, but I wanted to show you a few other things on the machine. So I didn't like just show you all my favorites. Show you some. Well, they're my favorites too. So if you have never ever seen this work, I mean, this is kind of what has sold me from my very first, brother machine. I'm sorry, I already had it threaded, but I just want to thread it for you because it is super, super easy. There's a numbering system, you just follow it. But the biggest thing on this machine that I love, because I don't even have to have my contacts on or wear glasses, is the magic, I call this the magic button. It's actually the awesome needle threading button. I'm just going to thread that needle. And so if you've never seen one of those, that's a treat. I'll tell you that. It's pretty exciting. It has that. There's the auto presser foot lift. This is such a convenient feature. You can set the machine so that the presser foot will lower when you step on the foot control or push the stop start button. So you have the choice, either foot control or your stop start button. It's got a large, I'm going to move you just a little bit over here to the screen. And it's got the large 7-inch LCD display. Over 729 built-in stitches that include your utility decorative 14 one-step buttonholes and sewing alphabets. But on top of that, if that's not enough, there's also my custom stitch, which is a brother exclusive. You can easily design your own decorative stitches. So if you need more than the 729, just go for it. The pivot function, so that, it's like having a third hand. Your needle stays down, but your foot, the presser foot comes up so that you can maneuver your fabric when you need to. Automatic reverse stitch, automatic thread cutter. The Sew Straight laser vision guide, you can set a seam allowance or easily align stitching for pin tucks, multiple rows of stitches and decorative stitches. You have the VSonic pin for sewing, which you just basically you touch the fabric with a sensor pin and you can place the needle. You can do a needle placement, a stitch width setting. You can position the endpoint of a line of stitches and then just simply touch and sew. So I'm going to show you just a little bit. One of my favorite features.
Hey, Brenda.
Yes, can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can hear you. I just wanted to say one more thing. After you show that, will you show them the Sonic pen? Because they couldn't see that.
Yeah, no, I didn't show it, but I will show it after the laser light. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So one of my favorite things, or the feature on here, is the Sew Straight laser vision guide. And so what I have is I have already chosen like a straight stitch. I'm going to activate the laser vision just by using the guideline key here. Just turn it on, and then you have a little gauge here so that you can set the laser light to help. And in this case, I'm just going to move the marker pretty much all the way. We'll go to the right. And then I have already set the straight stitch, moving you back to the machine. So get ready for the ride. Here we go. And then we'll just line up our fabric edge with the side of your fabric. And so I'm going to just step on the presser of the foot control and we'll start sewing. So notice that I didn't even have to push a button or touch the presser foot lever. The foot just goes down automatically. That is a setting that you have and can choose with this machine. You can choose it, to automatically do it or do it yourself. Now, with the needle position that I have and the laser light, what we just did is sewed a perfect scant 1/4 inch. And, we all know that if we're a quilter, we just strive for that every day. So you can set this up so that this laser light will help you achieve that every time you sew. And so, okay, so let's go and move our laser to the left. I'm going to put this under here so you can see it moving. Okay, and then I'm going to open this up, maybe, try to anyhow. And then this time I'm going to set the laser light so that it is running along the seam. I'm going to come in just a little bit more. Can you see that all right?
Yes, we can see that. We see it really good on the blue.
Okay, good. And then just start stitching. Again, I love that I don't have to physically put that presser foot down. And then I'm going to stitch my straight seam. Using the light to follow along in that ditch allows me to get a perfectly straight seam at about 1/8 of an inch away from it. So if I wanted to do some decorative top stitching or something, you can see how easy that would be to set that up and use that as your guide.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Now, this is really cool because I can put I'm going to put a little bit of batting around here, and then this time I'm going to take us to a decorative stitch. Just a real simple, easy sewing one, the serpentine stitch. So I watched a movie the other night where he said, "Run in serpentine," and I just had to laugh. Okay. So move your laser light clear to the left, and then let's move our needle position clear to the right. So we've separated them. We're going to get about 3/8 of an inch apart on our lines of decorative stitching. Again, I'm going to start off sewing here with the laser light in the ditch. You can see that. Okay, and so I'll just start sewing my first row of decorative stitches. There's many stitches you can use this with. I'm just using something, that will sew rather quickly so that I can show you with our limited time, So all I'm going to do is take the laser light now and line it up right next to the edge of my last row that I stitch, and stitch again. And I would just keep doing that, row after row, but you can see how easily you could do some beautiful quilting, just, and even a kind of a modern look, because you can take this serpentine stitch, as far as that goes, you can take any stitch, but this one you could take and elongate it more, make it wider, make it, what I'm saying, just really change it up so that you could get different looks. So, as Angela mentioned earlier, these products were just launched, last week. And so, we finally had a little time to start playing. And I mentioned earlier that we have 729 stitches. And if you wanted to go into custom stitch, you could even design your own. So here's one that was designed, maybe if I get it so that you can see, there you go. Can you see that okay?
Yes.
Okay, so that was just in my custom stitch.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, I know. If you've seen stitches that you like, you can go in there and really play. Now, I just want to warn you that, it can be much like getting into watching YouTube videos on quilting. It's time consuming, right? This machine also has the new hand quilt stitch look. So I don't know if you can, I think you can, but isn't that cool? You just use a mono poly thread on your bobbin and then whatever color on top you want. There's 3 different sizes you can set your stitch at.
Wow, that's gorgeous. That does look like hand stitch.
I know, it's really kind of cool. So, and then over the weekend, I didn't make a pot holder. I just wanted to say, over the weekend I started playing and I needed a gift and I thought, well, I'll just go with the fall theme. And I don't know if I'm going to see if I can zoom in, but just that serpent. Can you see this, Angela? Or maybe I should turn it around to the back. That might be easier. It's a little busy.
Yeah, we can see it's just a little dark.
Okay, I'm not sure why, but
maybe put it over the.
So let me see it. Maybe if I just lay it down.
That's much better. Perfect.
Much better. Okay, sorry about that. So I just took the serpentine stitch and the laser light and just started using that for my guides to quilt this. It goes really fast, really easy. And then after putting it together, after doing all my quilting, I did a decorative stitch right along this piecing here.
Oh, that is so cute, Brenda.
So we all know too, is, after you do your little quilt projects, you then need to bind them, right? So and it's kind of like, in my mind, it's my favorite step because I know I'm almost done. So this laser light, again, is just great for helping you with that task, because you can see that no more marking. All you need is your laser light to do that diagonal line from corner to corner, and you're perfectly set.
Wow.
On your binding. So easy to put those together. So someone mentioned the sonic pin, right? Let me grab that. Lay it right down here. It looks like this. It comes included with this machine, and tomorrow Jerry's going to show you the BQ 2500. I call it, this is just the older brother. And he comes with the V-Sonic pen. So what I'm going to take you here real quickly back to the screen so I can show you the features that are available on this pen, or what you can do with this as soon as I get you over there. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off the laser light, and then right here is your icon for the V-Sonic pen. So let's go ahead and touch that. So depending on your stitch, you have different choices. This actually will turn on that laser light we were just using, but the really great thing about it is I don't have to pick the position. You can use the pen and we'll just say we want to line it up right here with this red ribbon or something. You can use your pen and touch where you want that laser light to be, and it automatically moves. I don't know if you could see that.
Just barely.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can. You know what? I started sewing this weekend and turned my light back on my machine, and I'm thinking maybe if I just turn that off. It's a great light though, isn't it? Because I can really see what I'm doing. Let's get back in there. Okay. There we go. Much better, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So I can use my V-Sonic pen and take and push anywhere on my fabric and have it automatically adjust that laser light for me. So instead of me guessing and doing whatever, all I do is take the pen, touch the fabric, and the light moves.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Let me go to, I can also set if I'm sewing a row of decorative stitches, I can choose, I need to show you this because this has some really cool features. So we choose this endpoint. And then on my fabric, I would touch my fabric wherever I wanted it to stop sewing. So we'll do that. And you'll notice I touched 1.5 inches away. But I'm going to reset because I want to show you what happens when you push further away. So let's say I push way down here. You'll notice it's 3.98. In a situation like that, you sew along and about halfway through, it's going to stop and say, touch it again so that you can confirm where you want me to stop. You can have it stop with an entire whole pattern, or you can have it just stop wherever it is in the pattern.
There we go. I knew it would focus.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I just looked over there and noticed, and you should have just yell at me if something's going on. Technology, I love it. It's great when you go to bed, and when you get up, I don't know what's happened. Let me go and choose just like a zigzag. This is very on your sonic pen. Then you can choose to set your stitch width. So if you notice on this red ribbon, which I've already stitched down, see if I can get it in for you. So with choosing that stitch width, all I need to do is set this up and touch the first side, choose OK on the screen, and then touch the second side, and it automatically sets your width of your ribbon for you, or whatever it is that you want to stitch over.
Oh, wow.
So you can easily do that, and you're not having to, remember the day when we had to trial and error? We'd try a little bit, and then we'd, rip it out and try again.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so there are so many new things, but I could just tell you that one more thing I do want to share with you. This is, I think, awesome, and that is for the next, it's limited time. We'll just put it that way. I already told you about the Quilters bundle, but there is a second bundle, and this is while supplies last, and you really do want to go and talk to your brother dealer, because it comes, the purchase of this machine comes with a rolling luggage plus and a dust cover, but also the Brother Advanced Quilt software. This is brand new. It includes more than 250 built-in blocks. It's also, we all just saw the wonderful ScanNCut. It's compatible with that because you can design and color your quilts in this software and then export the FCM files to cut out your pieces on the ScanNCut.
Wow, that's amazing. The software.
Yeah, it is fun. It's fun and user-friendly.
We like user-friendly.
Yes. Me too, because if I can use it, I promise you guys are like, me and technology don't always, work together well.
So Brenda, you want to come back up here and join us? There's a few questions for you.
Okay, let me change my little camera here.
Okay, and keep asking questions. All three ladies are coming back to answer any last minute questions. And of course, you can always ask questions after the live show, and the brother team will answer for you. So, all right, so I'm just checking out some of these questions. Oh, Patty loved how you did the mitered corner there. That was amazing.
So Patty, also, that's a great way to do binding, and we all know we have to have it to finish the project. But also, if you're doing like those, even like half square triangles, that kind of stuff, it's all great. No marking.
Definitely. So Michelle says, do I need to hold the button down to get the pen to stay on? Any tricks for that?
So no, the pen, you just, it has the tip, you just push it down and touch the fabric wherever it is that you want to mark it, so to speak. You're not really marking it, you're marking it in the machine's computer memory, but.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Sally, what machine is this?
This is the BQ 3100. It's brand new and it's the top of the line in the Quilt Club series. So it's sewing and quilting.
There you go. You know what I really liked about that is that table that you had on there. And I don't know if anybody noticed that table. It can go off and on, but that really gave you a huge sewing area.
And not just great for quilters, even though it's fabulous for the big quilts and stuff. But I mean, if you're working on jackets or coats or dresses, a wedding dress, pretty much any clothing, it just gives you a nice flat surface, and it's a lot easier than having it draped down behind your machine. And, it's a great table. Is it heavy? I see.
Yes. Marcia wants to know, will the new Move It foot work on the Luminaire?
Yes. By the way, that's a great question. It works on the Luminaire's XP1 and 2 Dream Machine. Anything that actually used the current Move It foot, you can replace it with the compact digital dual feed, and the little pads that you have for your Move It foot are interchangeable with the new compact digital dual feed. So it's awesome. Well worth the investment.
So everybody who has an older machine, see, there's always something still. You don't always have to get new machines, although we're all tempted to every year when something new fabulous comes out. But I love that that works on those machines. All right, let's see. And yes, Jody, same thing. Yes, it can work on the Luminaire. She just answered that. I think we've got, let me just see if there's any new questions. Oh, is it heavy? Donna wants to know.
So it weighs less than 35 pounds. I think it's 33 something, but it's less than 35. So, it's not as light as the little machine, but you get a lot of great features with it. I mean, you're not going to be, for sewing and quilting, you're not going to be missing anything. So.
Yeah, definitely. Hi, Joanna. She says, how do you find what machine the place is compatible to? The piece is compatible to.
Does she mean the compact digital dual feed? Or
I'm going to guess that, but if not, Joanna, just restate what you were trying to say there. Maybe we can get that. All right, Lynn wants to know, can we purchase the new ScanNCut now, or is there a date when it's available?
I would call your brother dealer and find out if they have it in stock, because it's going to be a matter of when they get them in stock, and let them know, or get one ordered or whatever. Talk to them. That's where you've got to go.
Definitely. And also, you can also ask them then about what packages they have with everything. All right, Ken, I think I just saw one more. Oh, Donna says great for traveling to retreats. Yes, because it's not as heavy as, say, the Luminaire.
Right. No. Yeah, but you're not going to, as far as on the sewing and quilting and that kind of home deck kind of stuff, you're not going to really be missing anything. So it's a great, I mean, I've had the question, is it a good second machine? Well, yeah, because you can't sew and embroider at the same time anyhow. So when you want to embroider on your we can make it work for anybody, right?
Absolutely. In fact, my mother has her heavier machine upstairs, and then she uses a smaller machine downstairs at the kitchen table. Because sometimes she's watching TV and wants to sew in a different room. So that even works well there too.
Yeah. Yep. Good plan.
Yep. She was talking about the dual machine, but Joanna has the VM5200. What machine is that?
Wow. I don't believe so. I'm going to go. Does it use I don't believe so, because I'm not sure that it uses the Move It foot currently. So I'm going to say no, but
we can check on that for you, Joanna. I can't recall either, but if your machine uses the Move It foot, then yes. If not, no. That'll help. All right. So let's bring all the brother educators back up here for some last minute things. This has been so much fun. All right. Wow. That was a lot of information, and there's more coming. So this is just fantastic. Paula wants to know, can you give that model number again for the quilting machine?
Absolutely. That's the BQ 3100. Thanks, Paula.
There, Patty said, order now, get on the list. That's what she did. Patty, you're gonna love that machine.
Yeah, it's a great machine. Perfect sewing, so quiet.
Excellent. Does anyone have any last minute thoughts about their machine or anything extra we want to talk about? Now, there was a question for you. Coleen, down there. Hey, Coleen, does the 6 needle have My Design Center?
I'm going to take myself off of mute. Oops, it does not.
Okay. So that would be the big difference between the 6 needle and the 10 needle.
Correct.
Okay. And a couple people asked that. So that is a great question too, because My Design Center is just amazing. Everything that you can do in there is awesome. All right, let's see.
So I am agreeing. I just looked at the comments and I am agreeing with Marianne. Yes, that would be a V machine. I was wrong. Sorry. I haven't heard 5200 in a while. So.
Yeah, I hadn't either. I'm terrible at the numbers. I just know the names.
Yeah.
So, thanks, Marianne. Everyone's saying thank you, thank you. Does anyone have any last minute questions? So before we go though, Jennifer, you have to give us just a little teaser about that rotary blade.
I don't want to steal too much of Cindy's thunder. Okay, so the rotary blade, we have a new rotary blade for our ScanNCut machines. It's for the DX models of machines, and it allows you to cut all of those fabrics that you would shy away from with your ScanNCut. So felt, batting, organza.
Organza? Itsy bitsy
Organza, yes. Bridal tool. All of those things, you're going to be able to use your rotary blade and cut just like magic.
Wow. That's going to be, okay, that's the only teaser you're getting. Cindy's
I'm not saying anything else. I'm going to let Cindy surprise you.
And yes, Bob, there is no camera. There is another big difference between the 6 and 10 needle. You know, if you're thinking about getting a multi-needle machine, I'll ask these ladies, but I would highly recommend going to your brother dealer and playing with each one, because there's differences on both of them. That laser light is awesome, by the way, that cross laser. I mean, what a great way to make placement. But go test it out yourself. Until you play with it yourself, then you'll know what you prefer.
I agree.
Any suggestions from you three?
I think you need one of each, but that's just my opinion.
I have to say, sometimes when I get into the embroidery mood, I have every single machine in this place with embroidery, and I'm running from one to the other. But I will say the 6 needle and 10 needle, I don't have to run to as often.
Right.
Yes.
So how productive is that, Angela?
It's actually pretty productive. I can embroider
right?
a lot of things in one day. And by the way, are there any things, I saw somebody asking Coleen about the hoops that are included with yours. And I know there was the extra hat hoop that came with the 10 needle. And then there was the one long platform that you could do jeans on. Do those work on your machine?
Those do work on the machine. The new hat hoop, not the gigantic one, the 14-inch one, but the new one that came out last year, the PRCF3, I think it is, came out last year with the little hat brim thing that you can put on so easily. The head, I call it a headband, but that works on it beautifully. The sleeve hoop, the gigantic one with the magnets on the side for instant rehooping. That one works. It stitches in the 8x12, but it still stitches and uses it. It has a nice, pretty, really impressive package of hoops that you can get for it to do any of those specialties. I mean, there's shoe clamps, which I use for everything, including shoes, but those little purses and wallets, oh my gosh, those things, that set is marvelous for that.
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. Yeah. I'm just waiting for any last minute questions. But by the way, speaking of, someone had asked this earlier. Let me see if I can find it real quick. So, okay, when Paula was asking about the model for the new Quilt Club series, Brenda, you mentioned that yours is the big brother. Is yours the top of the line?
Yes. Yeah, so it's the BQ 3100, and tomorrow Jerry's going to be on actually the show, and he'll show the BQ 2500, which is essentially the same great size, has all the same wonderful features, and he'll share with you some more of the features. The only thing it won't have is the laser light and the VSonic pin.
Okay, that's very easy. Well, this has been an excellent show. Is there any last minute things? I can't even, I mean, like I said, we go on for hours, but our hour is up. So, oh, thanks. And you love my top. I sewed that on a Brother machine and a Brother serger. So, Brenda, Jennifer, Coleen, thank you so much for the information. And all of you watching, you can still ask questions even after the live because the Brother team will be here to help you out. So ladies, I'm going to let you go and I'm going to give them the schedule for the rest of the week. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Okay, this was so informative. And I just want to remind all of you, again, just real quick, there's a full schedule for the week. Tomorrow, Wednesday at noon Eastern, and then you have a Thursday at noon Eastern. Tomorrow we have Jerry Granada and Sarah Vetzer, and they both are going to be showing 2 different machines. You can still ask your questions and bring your questions tomorrow because you're getting a front row view of what the new machines are that we launched last week. And another reminder, don't forget that 0% financing started yesterday and goes till the end of the month at your Brother dealer. And there's 2 different options for you. So you have 60 months or 72 months, depending on what you're purchasing. So that is your reminder. I thank you all for joining us. I'm just going to make sure. I think we grabbed everything. I know, Paula. I looked down. I'm like, it's already been an hour. But thank you for staying. I know there's a lot of things you could be doing today, and we love it when you join us. I see a lot of the Wolf Pack in here. Thank you. Thank you. And again, if you want to watch this again, thank you for reminding me. If you're on Facebook, share it to your page. Very easy to do. And then you can go back and watch it over and over, including the shows tomorrow. And also, if you're on YouTube, subscribe to the Brother channel because then you can go back and watch. And you looking for tutorials for some of these things, you know that's going to be on the YouTube channel. So enjoy. I will see you tomorrow. Brother Sewing and Crafting friends, thank you for coming to the party. And thank you, educators, for giving us such a great tutorial. All right, see you tomorrow.